McNaughty back here with another video on Gran Turismo 7. This week's daily race C takes place at Autopolis International racing course, a circuit known for its varying degrees of technicality as well as several elevation changes. However, what really stands out here is the amount of dirty air that's generated by the Group 2 cars that are required for this 12-lap race. Medium and soft tires are required, and the car of choice by most racers is the Honda NSX Concept, although the Nissan GT-R Turismo is viable as well. Well, because of course it is, just like in Group 3 and 4. Now this first race I'm starting P10, and what you're going to see is that because of the dirty air around here, the primary tactic by most drivers will be to get overtakes done early when your tires are fresh and the field is close together. Now we actually have a good run on P9 here. Are we going to go for the dive bomb? No, we're going to play it safe, but he goes for the dive bomb on Kenyon in front of him, gets the overtake done, and oh my goodness, we all survive lap 1, turn 1. Now going into turn 2, you see the cars weaving and bobbing and jockeying for position, and still, somehow, nobody's been off yet. You see puffs of smoke as contact is being made, and we're actually going to try and take it around the outside of the hairpin, which generally is not advisable, but we make it work. Oh, and there's a little bit of snap of oversteer, and that's going to pin us on the inside going up the left-hander. And we get a bump from behind. Go wide, and we're in the wall. So unfortunate. But if we actually take another look, we get the bump from behind, and we actually understeer into Mr. Smith, and then immediately get hit again in our rear by Jacobo and go off to the side. But I honestly think that there's not really too much at fault here. Probably just another racing incident. And fortunately, this one happened early on in the race, so there's opportunity to recover. Now we're going to whip it ahead here, down the hill and back up to later in the lap, as we actually are going to encounter our first yellow flag. And, oh, there's been 2 people off, and we're going to gain 2 spots back for free here as we go around the penultimate corner and into the main start finish straight. And oh my goodness, K-Bar is off as well, so you hate to see it, but you know, we're going to take it. Now, as we get into lap 2, we see a car way off track, and they decide to instant transmission themselves out of the race, giving us P12. And by the time we get to lap 5, we're going to see that some racers are going to go ahead and enter the pits to either undercut or defend against the undercut of their nearest competitors. However, we're going to go a lot longer and avoid the real possibility that we run out of tire life in the second stint. We definitely don't want that, because that could be losing several positions at the end. Now, we skip ahead to the end of lap 6, and we're in a little bit of a train here, the dirty air train. So what we're hoping for here is that the 2 racers ahead of us continue on, and we can dive into the pits and get onto the soft tires, and they do just that. So into the pits we go. Now pit timing is crucial, because you don't want to be undercut, and you also don't want to come out with traffic. You want a bit of space from other racers so you can have a strong outlap to eliminate the overcut. And fortunately for us, there's quite a bit of space behind, and a couple of seconds of clean air in front. So mission accomplished there. Now we're going to go skip ahead, and we have another visit to the grassy area. We're going to move up to P11 as a result. So recovery going well so far. Halfway through the race, just over halfway through the race. And we actually encounter Kenyon again, recovering from an off-track excursion. We're going to fast forward down the main street here and actually see the 2 cars that stayed out of the pits for an extra lap. We're actually able to undercut them and move up to P9, and we're just about half a second behind Kenyon Mays. Easy? Well, let's just say Kenyon. We're about half a second behind him in lap 8. So let's see if we can get an overtake done here, because I'm theorizing that he's on the medium tire. And actually, you see here in lap 9 that we're still following him. He's weaving and bobbing, trying to defend. And we're actually going to send it up the inside, get 2 wheels on the grass, but unfortunately still make contact. And that's exit stage right for Kenyon. Now, that's going to get us a P8, 2 laps to go. We're actually going to finish P8. Now, I took a look at the replay after the race and saw that he kind of reacted late to my dive, but I'm interested as to what you guys think, so leave something in the comments. Let me know what you think about that. Now, we have S. My Donk still crying with an ominous message about this race, so I'm just gonna hope that I'm not the guy that he's apologizing to in this race. But yeah, we're gonna start P10, this one again, with both Mr. Smith and Kenyon in front of us again for this race. We actually get another good jump, firmly tucked into Mr. Smith's slipstream, and we're gonna play it safe again. Go all the way down to first, and someone's been off, and unfortunately for Kenyon and Mr. Smith, they both get penalties. Now they're jockeying for position going into the second turn. I'm gonna go down the inside, and unfortunately Mr. Smith makes contact and gets pushed a little bit wide, so we move up to P8. We're gonna take the normal line this time for the hairpin, and oh my goodness, Donk's still crying. We avoid the apology, but that's unfortunate for him. Now, we're gonna come up the hill here. We know that we're gonna inherit P6, so that's actually a pretty good start halfway through the first lap. Go up the curve, and there's contact between P4 and P5. Oh no, Mr. Mad's in the wall. Kenyon's serving his penalty. Penalty's behind, and we actually, in the span of half a lap, gained 5 positions. It's almost as if Red Sea was parted for us by Moses himself. Now, we're going to skip ahead here, and by the end of the second lap, we have Worth 725, who's probably on the soft tires, making a run. We're going to keep the inside. He decides to go and around the outside. We're going to brake as late as possible. Go down the first gear again, hold the inside, and fend off Worth. Now he's going to try again to go around the outside in turn 2, but that's even less of a prospect of getting the overtake done. And for now, we held on to the position, and we're kind of just hoping that the dirty air that I talked about probably about 28 times so far in this race is going to take its toll on him, despite the tire advantage. This left-hander, for sure, is definitely one of those spots, but he actually makes contact behind us and actually goes off the track. And as a result, we're going to get just outside of the slipstream range as we go uphill to the hairpin and make our way back down. And that was the last we saw of him for this race. Now, Sheik and Lucas Johnson are in the pits. They started on softs, went on mediums, and if you take a look at the mini-map as they come out, they're actually going to run into traffic. There's going to be 2 racers when it's all said and done between them and us. Hopefully they hold them up. We're in P3 when we make our pit stop, so we're going to see if it was enough of a distraction for those 2 behind. And unfortunately it was not. As you can see, they retake their positions in front of us, and we're actually going to come out in traffic. P6 goes by, and we're going to be under attack by the Brazilian driver here going into turn 1, but we actually get a switcheroo, and head into turn 1. We're going to have to do a little bit of defending here, but it seems like we're going to be able to just about hold him off, and if we put our car in the right positions, they're not going to be able to get past us. That ends up being the case. He actually falls almost 3 seconds behind. Now, lap 7, AMG Tony heads into the pits, and we're actually able to get past MCH, or MC Herman, excuse me, to to regain our P5, and by the end of the race, we actually end up P5, so not a bad result. We move up 5 positions in this one. Now, for this next final race that we're going to look at today, I actually start pole. So, if we're able to defend well, we should be able to win this race. Now, it's at about this point I realize I haven't been in any poles, and we actually get bumped from behind, and poor P2, he actually ends up getting pushed back into the pack. I think that might have been a little bit my fault because I didn't actually know where the breaking point was. But by the end of the first lap, we actually have a 4-second gap between myself and Chris Stump. Now, he's actually going to make some inroads here because he's on soft tires, or at least I think he was. By the end of lap 3, he's 3 seconds. Going into lap 4, he's 2 seconds. Going into lap 5, he's 1.3 seconds. So I'm fairly confident he's on the soft tires here, which is hopefully advantageous to us. Now, at the end of lap 6, we're going to go into the pit and do our switch from mediums to soft. And you can see there, he's on soft. So as long as we keep it together for the last 5 or so laps here, we'll be fine. And fortunately enough for us, we actually avoid getting caught behind in Fuego here. And Chris Stump actually does not. So we're actually able to bring this one home and get a victory. So, you know, if you start in pole, it's generally easy to keep pole, even if you start on the slower tire. So we're going to end the video with a P1. And as always, you know, if you got this far, I really appreciate you. And let me know by typing P1 in the comments. As always, I appreciate your support. And if you haven't already, be sure to share, hit that like button, and subscribe. This is McNaughty, and until next time, take care. Bye-bye.